Hello, everyone. It's Monday morning still, and welcome to episode 3 of A View from the Hazards with the famous duo Schenk and BTM. Ben, you start us off. Hazard joke. Here we go.
It's a sexist one today, so I apologise for anyone who gets offended by this, but I'm literally reading them from a website. So, Robert. No, it's not really a question, actually.
Go on, sort it out.
Just, I saw a woman driving with her hazards on, and I thought to myself, at least she's honest.
I shouldn't laugh. That's made me laugh a little bit. I will recycle that at uni today.
Gender stereotyping.
Indeed. However, a lot to get through today. Literally, I've not seen you in 2 weeks, have I? Obviously, we were in Australia when we recorded the last two.
Yeah, I got back
literally,
for like
this is the first
3
day I've
days
seen
and
you.
off I went.
Yeah, on a stag do this weekend, straight from the US Open. But, I literally just have some questions about the US Open. Lots of talking points, in my opinion. So it was in Chicago.
Do I need to get the draw up for this? Or do I need to try and remember?
I think I've got them in my head. So, US Open. Camden reeled off his 8th straight. I think, is that right?
I'm going to say yes. I think
This
it's
is
like
quite a lot.
8 or 9, but 8 does sound correct.
And also won the doubles against you and Stevie in
Yep.
the final, which looked like a long match. First thing I'd like to mention is your semi-final, 4 hours and 42 minutes. I think that's the longest match I've ever seen.
Oh, the doubles?
Yeah.
Yeah, the singles one. The singles wasn't.
That
yeah,
match,
that
talk me
was-
through that match. Were you at any point did you lose track of time? Were you thinking, God, this is long, or were you just in the zone? How was
I
that?
was very, very aware that it was taking forever. Like, it was.
Why did it take so long? Was it just like the rallies, or just?
There was. So the balls were bouncy, so it's pretty tough. You know, it's pretty tough to actually you can't really get any winners from the court or anything like that. So, yeah, it was just tough. Like juices everywhere.
Yeah, that's fair.
I felt like the first 2 sets that we won were quite close. It was just generally close all the way through.
Didn't you win the first two?
We won the first 2.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I didn't. I felt like I was the worst person on court that day. I didn't feel like I played very well. So kind of Steve had to try and try and step up and do what he does. And yeah, we snuck over the line. But God, it was. I had 2. I remember being at 2-all in the 5th set, and literally just thinking to myself I think we'd had our 7th juice of that game or something, and I was like, this is never going to finish.
You're gonna die on court.
I could be playing this match for the rest of my life.
Because there's a point in the 5th, I just switched on when I was having breakfast the next day, and it's 4-2 to them, or it's 3-4. It's again a long juice, and you miss a really regulation volley at the net.
It was
and
fairly standard.
You can just see Steve's reaction. He's literally just he's always trying his hardest to just rein it in, and I'm just like. Yeah, I'd be pretty annoyed there as well.
I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure I know exactly the forehand volley
you're
you're
to.
It's what you're talking about as well. No. Steve, even though you can obviously see him on the camera, with his head in his hand, and I'm obviously probably aware that that's going on behind me. I cannot praise the guy enough for being encouraging, even though you can tell he's thinking you're an absolute goon. Get the ball over the net. He's go on this one, and he helped me over the line there, because I had 2 games in that 5th set where I had a really funny 5 minutes. I forgot to switch, and they just chipped a ball in the corner, and I just as he was about to return serve, I just started walking to the other side of the net. I was walking to the other side of the court, and I turned around and Steve was stood next to me, and I was just oh my God, what am I doing? Literally just for 5 minutes, I just had an absolute nightmare, and I think that's what made us go 2 games down in the 5th, and I was I've blown it. I've absolutely blown it.
It's funny as well because you win I think you went advanced. It was 30-all, 5-all, right? Was it 30-all, 5? No, it wasn't. It was 40-15.
Yeah.
And basically you swap ends, and it's a long rally, and Steve wins it with some lob dead on fluke or something.
I spoke to Steve about that.
And your reaction, when you win, he's really keen to celebrate, and you're just having none of it. It's almost you just can't wait to get off the court. You've barely got the energy to high five him.
As Steve lobbed that ball up, you could see as I realised that Nick was leaving it, I was oh my God, I can't believe he's leaving that. I can't believe he's leaving that. And then I think, to be honest, the reaction that the like the emotion that I had when that ball went in was just pure relief.
What time was it? 11?
No, we started at 5, so
10.
yeah, it was about 9:30 or something.
Oh,
But
fair.
it was just relief because I didn't feel like I had played my role particularly well that day, and obviously we were both out of the singles at that point, so it was like the only opportunity to like go for some silverware kind of thing. And I know how much Steve likes his doubles, and I felt like I'd let him down for the whole thing, so I was just like, phew. There was not one bit of me was just like, yes, we've won. I was just like,
it did look like a few like I can finally like get off the court and like have a shower. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it was just phew. I haven't completely ballsed it up for Steve, and then then get me a beer. Like immediately.
Or 7. No, I did quite. It looks epic on paper, and likewise the final. Was it first 3 sets 6-5? You split them? No, not split them. It was 2-1 or something.
6-5 to them, then 6-5 to us.
So I'm going to say that's probably the closest Tim and Cam have been pushed in the first 3, certainly, in a doubles final in a while.
Yeah, it felt like it as well. Like we had 2 set points in the first set.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I don't remember doing anything. I don't remember like any nightmares happening.
That's fair. It's one of them, isn't it? Like defending the door or something.
I mean, for me personally, it was just nice to actually get out there and like play. I was like, God, I'm actually playing how I know that I can play. So like the difference from Tuesday to Thursday was like ridiculous. And I was at the back the whole time, and it just felt pretty comfortable. Like defending main walls and stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
I didn't really have much control of the balls over there like the whole week, so I was playing, for me, like quite conservatively. But then when you've got someone like Steve who wants to just literally hit the cover off everything, like it's probably quite.
It's quite weird for me watching. Like it seemed like people just didn't know what to serve. Like they were just throwing in like under twists, like sidewalls. I'm like, this is so weird.
Yeah, the penthouse seems like really. It's weird. Like it's really
springy, right?
It's
like
really steep, like Paris.
Yeah.
But it's also quite kind of slippery. So generally, it was like watching Camden serve to Rob in the World Championship at Queen's, and you were just like, this poor bloke cannot avoid the ball just going to the getting to the back wall. Like it doesn't matter what he's trying to do. Like he just cannot stop this ball.
A lot of Chicago, from what I remember being there, a lot does go to the back wall.
So I mean, like in the doubles semi-final, for example, John Lumley was serving me one bounce sidewall serves, and he was tucking me right out. You know, I was like
snowy.
Yeah, I was like, I can't do anything with this. Cam was serving the same thing as Steve in the final.
Yeah.
And then in the final, it must have been the third set, I think, when we switched, because I was serving to Tim for the first 2.
Yeah.
And then in the third set, Cam and I were just serving bobbles to each other.
Left-handed bobble, wow. Was he turning?
Yeah, but not able to do anything with it. Like Cam, we served like a couple of unreturnable bobbles to each other. It's just, it was tough to serve. It was pretty much just like you're putting it in there and letting them have a go. And obviously in doubles, people are going to be a bit aggressive with it. But Tim was a bit rusty.
It did look like, it was just a different kind of real tennis than what I was used to watching. But yeah, cool US Open, some good results early on in the draw. So like in our first podcast, we talked about that Josh Smith-Darren game. We were like, yeah, Josh, like you're going to go down to Daz. But obviously you sneaked the first set. That was epic. So,
mate, I marked it.
I know, good story. So like I was watching it.
The first set went on forever.
I know. So like that 6-5 game, it was 5-all, and I literally just switched on the stream. It would have been like 11:15 at night. And I really wanted to brush my teeth, but literally this 5-all game was going on forever. I'm like, Dad, come on, can someone just win it? Like, I just wanted to brush my teeth, but no, I was watching Josh eventually win it, and Daz had about 7 set points. It was mad.
Yeah, like Josh basically like did his thing throughout, and was like very, very consistent and did it well. Darren was a bit more up and down, so like Darren would put like a string of games together and then just go walkabout for a bit. So like in the first set, he went 2-love down and then won 4 in a row, and I was kind of thinking like, right, okay, he seems to have like sussed this out a bit, and then he just would go walkabout, and then obviously lost the first set. Beginning the second, he was like, right, I'm going to be much more like aggressive, trying to hit more dead-ons, and kind of started off the second set really well, and then like Josh would come back in. It was just, I feel like, and like well done to Darren obviously for having dropped the first and winning the next 3 like
rapid,
score-wise,
yeah,
relatively comfortably, but it didn't feel like that marking it. It felt like a 3-1 Darren, but it felt like the sets of like 2-3 love
like
or whatever.
it
felt a little bit harsh on Josh,
Yeah,
but I mean Darren deserves to win the match. So
yeah, it's a good more 5-set practice for.
What was your
Mr.
prediction
Smith.
for that one? You said Darren.
I said Darren. We didn't do a score prediction. That is brutal. We don't want to cause too much controversy, do we? So that's the US Open, but the next tournament on the schedule, there's no real majors yet. Probably amateur singles.
Hang on. No majors. British amateur singles.
British amateur singles. Well, I don't know. Depends who you are. If it's a major, Julian Snow certainly thought so.
So can I lead this one?
You can indeed, yeah.
Can I just ask? I've got the draw in front of me here
Yeah.
with like the schedule and the days and the times, but am I right in thinking that these days and times actually don't mean anything because people in the draw are just trying to change their times and like, any chance we could book a court on Tuesday afternoon? It's like,
yeah, we'll get a marker.
What are you doing?
Some weird stuff. Obviously, it started. We're recording this on Monday. It started on Saturday. Actually, the first game, Bomford against Dunn. I don't know who won, but it seemed like people are sort of changing times. Pretty weird. Like ADV changed time against Charlie Hurstel. I've actually been asked to change my time 3 o'clock on Tuesday against Rory Giddens. He's like, "Can you play at 8:30 in the morning?" I'm like, "No." I can't get down there for that time, which is weird. Hashtag amateur real tennis for you. But yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just gloss over that there's obviously lots that I would like to say on that, but I'm just gonna.
For me, the time's the time, but yeah, we'll go.
I mean, bottom line is, if you enter a tournament,
you enter for the week.
Do you
know what I mean? Like you make yourself available for that week, and you have 2 weeks to schedule your life around
like
it.
the window of you get the dates, and it's just like that's what you have to do.
I've got an advanced train ticket. I mean, I'm going to lose money if I don't play at 3.
Anyway, let's just move on. So my first observation is that this draw seems quite small.
Yeah, it's 12. Is it a 12-man?
Compared to, yes, it is 12-man. That seems relatively small compared to amateur singles of old.
16. I think it's 16 normally. They fill the draw if it's 16, but yeah.
Like just immediately off the top of my head, like I can't see a Luke Danby, a Roman Krasnarek.
Yeah, no righty in the doubles. Righty.
No righty.
I saw him on Saturday.
So that's a shame because obviously that would.
Yeah, exactly. I was certainly wary of like a Roman or a Peter. You don't want to get them. You don't want to get them in the quarters.
So we've got. So I'm going to just quickly whip through the previous. So this is Monday. I don't know the results of the first round.
I know Rory obviously beat Adam Dolman, but I don't know any others.
So this is going to be interesting because the top bit of the draw, you've got the 2 young guns.
Yeah, tell you what, I'm going to message Fred now and see who won.
You've got the Shamateur, Will Flynn. I don't know whether he's a pro or an amateur, or he's a pramateur, no one knows.
He's certainly very tall.
But he's playing in the amateur singles, so that's good. And he's obviously improving rapidly, so well done, Will. You're doing very well. Freddie Bristow seems to be the man on everybody's lips.
Yeah, he's good. So I can vouch for that. He's good.
Very interested to know, even though this was yesterday, very interested to know who won that. You would probably put Freddie as favourite, I guess.
Yeah,
on handicap.
Fred for me should win that.
Rory Giddens beat Adam Dolman. Do we know what the score was there?
Because
that on paper could have been a good one. ADV Hurstel, that's got to be ADV, right?
Yeah, it's done as a win that. Yeah.
Have they not played? So. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
they rescheduled that, didn't they?
I'm assuming it was played yesterday at 4 o'clock, but that's probably the exact the one time that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure on that one. And then Phil Dunn versus
Bomford,
our very own Leamington Club champion.
Yeah,
Tom Bomford.
I actually left Queens just before that match happened, so I don't know who won, but that's again a great game. That's a great game. Dot Bombers is such a wild card. I love that.
I see somewhere like Queens is going to suit him down to the ground as well.
God,
for retrievers, you just run around. He's just no one's going to get the ball past him on somewhere like that. So that would be interesting. Well, we should probably try and find these results out.
Yeah. I'll have a look.
So that gives us, if we move into the 4 seeds, you've got Jamie Douglas 1, Ed K 2, and then you're 3 in the top half.
Yeah.
With Jamie Douglas, and Jamie Giddens is number 4 in the bottom half.
That is
Ed.
right.
So that is a Cambridge heavy season.
Yeah, it's 3 out of 4, isn't it? I know.
Yeah.
All University of Cambridge, crikey.
They're obviously doing some good stuff there.
Back in the day.
Yeah. So, right. I'm having a quick look at this, and without wanting to offend anybody, it's not looking to me initially like anybody could make a dent into those seeds, except for ADV and Jamie Giddens, which could be a good one.
Tell you what, that could be. ADV is mercurial. Like, he's got his own style of play. If he switches on for like 4 games, I'm telling you, like, he's got obviously athletic ability.
Well, because he's off like what, 9 or something.
Yeah, 9. He's a solid on his day. He just obviously just doesn't know how to serve. It's one of those like.
Well, he's playing a queen, so it's fine.
Well, yeah, no one can.
I can't see any of the others. Sorry, everybody, making a dent into the seeds. So I'm going to say that ADV, providing he got through Hurstel, whenever that match takes place, could give Giddens a very good game. But the other 3, I mean, if you get beaten by Rory Giddens, then
I will be hanging my rackets up. That's quite a bold statement, but no, I'm going down. I'm looking forward to my game tomorrow. Had a few hits, and yeah, feeling good out there. Had a nice practice with Jamie Giddens on Saturday. We were both charging around out there, so yeah, feeling good, smile on my face, and yeah, looking forward to it. It's not often you get a chance to play 5 sets.
So we've got a situation where you have got a potential, if we go just based on seedings, you've got a potential rerun against your British Open first round opponent.
That's right,
Jamie
yeah.
Douglas, which was 3-0 to Jamie, but close.
2-5-5, mate. It's 3-0, 3-0.
Yeah, well, there's no mockery here.
I've been deleted. Yeah.
I mean, Jamie is like ridiculously good on that.
He was practicing Saturday. Didn't have his
Was he?
like calf. What is it called? Like a compression sock.
Yeah.
Didn't have that on. So maybe like fighting fit. Because I heard he pulled out against Ed in the Paul Roger. But yeah, if I can get through to that, that'd be awesome.
Okay, I didn't know that. So Ed is at the bottom. Obviously, am I right in thinking he beat Jamie in like the gold racket or something at the MCC?
This would have been last time they played, like in May or April.
Yeah.
That is the last time they have played. And they also played. No, they played Nepal in January, and it was 1 set all, and Jamie retired in the 3rd.
Okay.
So pretty even.
So actually, which is very exciting. You've got a situation where any 2 of those 4 could, like, it's not inconceivable for
No way.
anyone to beat anyone in those 4 seedings.
Yeah, exactly.
When is the final?
Saturday, isn't it? I'll see you there.
Yeah.
No, it's Saturday at some point, isn't it?
That would make sense because the doubles are on
is
Thursday.
Sunday.
Sorry, the semis are on Thursday.
Yeah.
So you've got 5 and 7.
Well, it's gonna be good.
That'll please Ed because it's not part of his working day, so he'll be happy.
Yeah, he's got a Sunday match as well.
He's got
I must say, Mr. K did send some messages. I mean, positive feedback about the podcast. I think he's enjoying it, but didn't enjoy getting a roasting from Mr. Taylor Matthews in the last one. But I mean, was it a roasting? I think it was
a bit harsh.
I think it was just quite positive chat. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I was just saying that
encouragement to get better
because of the lack of depth. Like, you're going to get some one-sided results, and like if people that play don't enjoy that.
Yeah.
Then they've got 2 options, haven't they? They either get on with it or they get better.
And obviously, I did relay this feedback to Ed, and he actually said it's good. People should have the same attitude as Ben. So
I'm sure that everybody who plays and supports the game would love nothing more than to have more strength and depth.
Retweet.
So
yeah.
I think roasting's a bit harsh.
No,
I think ultimately we're probably both making the same, encouraging the same point.
Yeah, exactly. So. And Ed, I hope you're listening. I will see you this week. Been a while.
So Thursday at 7. I mean, I'd love to come down for that, but I can't.
So that's a late one, mate. That's a late one. Do you know what I mean?
I mean,
that might not get on at 7.
I don't even know if I'll be awake. So
we might have to play it at 9. Who knows? It might be a Darren Nick Howell situation where the lights go off. Who knows?
So very quickly, can we preview the doubles because I've not seen the doubles draw?
I can't see anyone denting the 2Cs. Douglas and Wright and Giddens and Kay. I can't see anyone beating them.
So you think they're just straight through to the final?
They will get to the final, yeah. And
I'm going to pick Jamie and Peter for that one.
Yeah,
Jamie and Ed.
I saw them practicing actually, doing some pretty interesting stuff. Like you had Peter at the net, sort of volleying, and Jamie was in front of the tambour, like they were sort of volleying to each other. I was like, fair, I can't do that. So.
I just think that they are just a bit more of a natural doubles. Yeah. Like
Wright is so good. So like you watch him in that exhibition, Camden, Nick, Rob, and just doesn't look out of place whatsoever. Genuinely. if doubles handicaps were accurate, I mean, yeah, he'd be right down there. If that's the thing, like +5 doubles, Peter, you can take that. You can have that on me. But yeah, we'll wrap it up. I'm looking forward to the amateur this week. We'll see how it goes. We'll review it maybe next time. So we've got 10 minutes left. We will move on to the next episode of the Real Tennis Cyborg series.
Oh, I've just been paid by.
Oh yeah, who by?
By Melbourne. Actually, no, I haven't. I've been paid by Susie because Melbourne haven't paid. Thank you, Susie.
There we go. Positive. Put it all on red.
They've deducted your bar bill.
Oh no.
So I've paid for your bar bill.
Sorry, it's only a £5.
Well, I think the flower bed saw most of that anyway.
No comments. Yeah, it did. Right, the also Cyborg return of serve.
Yes,
that is what we're doing this week. So last time we did serving, now we're going to do return of serve.
So I felt like I put something out there on like Twitter for this to try and get a bit of a discussion point, and I was pretty much custard pied by the Real Tennis community.
We got one person, Simon Edmund. Simon, I'm sure you'll be listening, and he gave me.
He's built the full Cyborg.
He's gone the full Cyborg. Everyone who he would go for, that is wonderful. So, Simon, you said cut volley Chisholm, didn't you?
So I think what we need to be very clear on here is exactly as we mentioned with the serving, we're looking for a rounded person.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
What we're not going to say is like picking names out of a hat. Tim Chisholm's cut volley, Rob Fay's main wall force.
No, it's return of serve.
Cam's tickler down the line. It's just like no, one person does all. So on that basis, sorry, Cam, Steve, Howard, all of these lefties.
Chris Ailey.
The Cyborg has to be right-handed.
Yeah, we are going to put that out there. The Cyborg will be a right-handed player. Just looks, there we go. That's how it's going to be, guys, I'm afraid.
Just aesthetically a lot more pleasing, isn't it?
Yeah, I was about to say that, and it's just like that's going to offend some people. It is what it is. So yeah, the return serve right.
Doesn't matter, mate. We've got the microphone.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, this podcast is unedited. So
all right. So if we do take certain parts of the return of serve, the two big things. I mean, if you're looking at like a Cyborg, you're looking at, generally speaking, a Cyborg that is going to hit a cut volley or a force 90% of the time because you're going to struggle to get them doing anything.
They're your gunshots, aren't they?
So obviously, if we're talking about like cut volley, you've got to talk about Tim Chisholm, Rob Fay.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw out like.
Only Happel had a sick cut volley.
Happel's got a very good cut volley. Nick Howe seems to just never miss it.
Nick's literally just those two. I'm not generalising here, but I would love to have that simplicity of return serve. Just like, you know what? I'm going to pick one option. I'm just going to go for it.
Well, he's a chimp, isn't he? So he doesn't think. He just pumps it in.
I love that though. It's so pragmatic.
Exactly.
It's the best way.
And he will not mind me saying that because I call him a chimp all the time. But it's literally just step up, bang it in the corner.
Yeah, just dead on all cut volley. Great, perfect.
Anyone else's cut volley you can think of off the top of your head? That's worth
Claire for me. I think I like her cut volley. Always been good. Claire's return serve's good.
I do like Claire's cut volley. I have to say. Do you think it's up there with Rob Fay's?
No, I don't, but I'm just being nice. Like I'm just saying off the top of my head. Do you know what I mean? Whenever I play Claire, it's like a bit of a problem. But
okay, so we'll have a quick think about like cut volleys, and then obviously the other aspects. If you're looking at like forces, you have to look at Tim Chisholm and Rob Fay.
Oh, Chisholm mega.
Like unbelievable.
Ivan Ronaldson. That's forcing though, isn't it?
Well, I think that Rob would hit more main wall forces than Tim.
Agree.
I think that would be what it feels like.
Yeah.
I tell you what. I'm going to throw something out there.
Go on.
Because it's very difficult to separate Tim and Rob on the return of serve, right?
Agree.
Because they both have those two major weapons. One thing I'm going to throw out there and say that Tim does better, or in terms of variation.
Yeah, go on.
Tim has the volley like splat down the line into the dead on, which I'm not saying Rob doesn't have, but it's not something you ever really
associate.
You never really see. Rob will hit down the line dead ons on the volley, but he'll hit it with like a cut volley action. So he'll kind of more fool you by opening up for a cut volley and going down the line, and you'll just be ready for Tim to hit this volley, and you'll be thinking, I've just got no idea where this is going, but it's probably going hard.
Yeah.
I'm going to also say that I think Rob is a bit more like particular about what he's trying to do, whereas sometimes Tim does just step up and think, I'm just going to bang this thing somewhere, particularly in doubles.
Yeah.
So I would give Rob the edge there on like the tactical
Yeah.
side of it. I think variation, like Tim offers that like splat ball down the line, which I've not seen Rob do. Basically, is how
it does just strike me as like that return serve. Basically, you're just giving him a ball to hit, and he will attack that, which is a weapon. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like, oh my god, what do I serve here?
But then, like like going back to Nicky, Nicky's got like he lets that ball drop and just hits like drives down the line, dead on, and never seems to like miss the target.
Yeah, I remember watching you play him against Hampton Court, not football. At Hampton Court in the, I'm going to say 2018 Champions Trophy, and when you were 2 sets down,
yeah,
he was literally nailing it.
He just wiped the floor with me.
When's he going to like miss? But I mean, you did win, so maybe missed a few. But
yeah, I don't think Nick was very well that day. So.
Indeed, but yeah, doesn't seem to miss very often down the line. It's good flair, but yeah.
Are we missing any?
From back in the day? Do you know what I mean? Was anyone Wayne? Could he hit a good return serve?
I believe that like Wayne's game was built very much on having a strong return serve.
Yeah, it's like the main wall railroad game, right? Is that what?
Yeah, I think so. But again, like this is where it's a bit difficult for us, obviously, because I never saw Wayne play, so I can't. We can only speculate.
Have we got any sort of like indie players or like under the radar? Oh my god, his return serve was unbelievable. Like Ricardo, I don't know. Could he return serve well?
Yeah.
Anyone else like around the single figures handicap who you thought, you know what, he can do it?
Well, I mean, you'd have to throw someone like Dave Woodman out there.
Yeah, this is it. Like he used to hit forces, didn't he?
Incredible, and just like relentlessly. Like it didn't matter what you served him. Like if he wanted to hit a force at you, like it was.
I love that.
It was coming.
That's the thing. Like there's players like that people will just neglect. But I never saw Woodman play. Well, that I can remember, and but apparently just used to gun him down the middle.
So on that basis again, what we're doing is pointing out a lot of people with a lot of strengths, like we did with the serving.
Yeah.
But to reiterate, we are looking for like a rounded
individual.
So I'm going to go out there and say, like Dave Woodman's forcing was relentless and relentlessly accurate.
I love thinking about it, just relentless. I'm going to force every single time.
It was incredible and like so impressive to watch because he was just so accurate with it. Like he just never really hit it up or he'd hit like a few in the net, but he'd never hit it up.
I love that.
So
imagine that.
It just never went on the penthouse. But then if you're looking at a rounded player, and I look at like Dave Woodman's like volley return, he'd have a very good splat return, but I just can't rank his like cut volley up there with Tim and Rob. I actually remember watching. I was marking very like side story. Marking in the British Open.
Is this the Sheldon one? Yeah, I was going to bring it up as well because I remember you telling me. Oh my god.
Sheldon, like poor old Kevin Sheldon, was still like charging around off like 1 or 2, like, and it was amazing watching him play. Like, he was so graceful to watch. Yeah. Oh my god. And like Dave Woodman was trying to beat like Chase 1 or something. And Kevin's served something and it's at Queen, so it's just hit halfway at the back wall. And Dave has just unloaded this ball like straight down the middle at Sheldon, and he's got his racket in the way. And I remember thinking like, shit, gee, like well done, Kevin. And this ball was like looped back over the net, and it's kind of heading over towards the timbre. So I'm obviously marking. So I look to the left, and I just see Dave like take 2 steps up the court and just smash this like this. This ball is dropping down from orbit, and he's just opened up on a backhand volley and twatted this thing down the line into the dead on, and I was just like, oh my god, that's like one of those just like
that's like Ibrahimovic one of like kicks, you know what I mean? Just side Bristow won 3-1 against Will Flynn, so he will play Douglas in the quarterfinal. Thank you for replying, Fred. But yeah, carry on. This it just sounds like the ultimate worldie, like a bicycle kick.
Literally, it was one of those. And I'm not saying like Dave wasn't talented enough to do it, at all. But it was one of those like you just close your eyes and swing it over the best, and like, he's just absolutely leathered this.
It's a genuine case of like, do that again, Dave.
Yeah, top bins, dropping ball. It was insane. It was just like I'll never forget that shot because I remember like thinking at that point like, God, Kevin may actually die today. Someone might have to like call 999 at some point.
That's so good. Right, well,
so circling back,
let's make a decision.
Personally, for me, so when we decided to discuss this, I had one person in mind, and I didn't mention it to you because I wanted to make sure it was a discussion. I'm going to have to say, purely for the splat down the line volley, which no one else seems to possess as well as this person does, I have to go Tim.
I'm not going to disagree with you. I think his return serve's awesome.
But I want it to be known that like Rob is like 1% away from my decision there.
Yeah, no, well, you've got to you can't just put Rob for everything, can you?
Or put it this way: if somebody wrote in and said you can't have Chisholm, you've got to have Rob, I'd be like, fine. Our Cyborg's no worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
He's still a good player, all right?
So I think that's going to be my
Perfect.
That's going to be my vote.
Well, we've got Chris Ronaldson server
serving,
and Tim Chisholm's return of serve.
Tim Chisholm receiving.
I'll tell you what, already this cyborg is looking pretty decent. Next time, I don't know what we'll do, which part of the cyborg. What do you reckon?
Well, on the basis that we're going to work our way through a rally.
Yeah.
I think that if we're looking at the serve, which we've done, and then the returner serve, I think the next thing should be the retrieving aspect.
Oh my god.
Person at the service end retrieving, our cyborgs.
I've already got a name in mind.
So who is the person? That's our next.
Guys, get your responses in.
Who is going to be the person that is going to be able to try and deal with the cyborgs return serve the best?
And this can be a left-hander, right? This can be a left-hander.
Retrieving's just retrieving.
Yeah, retrieving's retrieving. So the return serve's right-handed. But
we're certainly not banning.
Yeah, left-handers.
Lefties. The only reason we mention that is because, when we go on to discuss backhands, obviously it's difficult because a lefty's backhand is going to be on the opposite side of the court to a righty. So when we go to discuss specific shots like that, we will specify that it's right-handed. But the only reason we've gone for a right-hander on return of serve is because
it's just natural.
No disrespect to someone like Howard Angus, but I'd rather have Tim Chisholm's volley return than Howard Angus's.
Probably never a volley one, but yeah.
Wouldn't need to,
yeah. You'd just be serving railroads.
Yeah. But retrieving's obviously just anyone from anywhere on the court.
If you think you're the best retriever, get your responses in. If you think it's you,
I'm going to put something out there on Twitter now.
Yeah, do it. But yeah, that will
suggestions.
Wrap up the third episode of A View from the Hazards. Sorry, we've gone over our half-an-hour limit, but there we go, give or take.
2.5 minutes is fine, particularly when it's pure entertainment as well.
Exactly, yeah. Hope you've enjoyed this one, and we'll be back with the next one.